Gamerbraves. Hey guys, this is Sean and welcome to Gamerbraves Review. The Last of Us Part 2, one of the most anticipated games in PS4 launches today. We finished the game weeks ago and we should release the review video on 12 June, but it wouldn't do the game justice due to many restrictions being placed on it. So we decided to release a review video on the game launch day with some spoilers. So you have been warned, there will be spoilers in the video, please watch at your own discretion. The story of The Last of Us Part 2 takes place 5 years after the ending of The Last of Us, where Joel makes a questionable decision of saving Ellie, while damning the rest of the humanity on giving up the cure for the Cordyceps brain infection. Cordyceps brain infections are the primary cause of turning humans into zombie-like monsters, and it is a major key plot for The Last of Us universe. Like The Last of Us Part 2 is a survival game, with combat and heavy emphasis on the narrative. Although the game is very much playable even if you haven't played The Last of Us, I would still suggest you to pick up The Last of Us Remastered before playing this, so that you'll get the full story. There are plenty of flashbacks from multiple points of view during the game for you to witness the events that happened during The Last of Us. And one more thing, Part 2 is not for the faint-hearted. At different points in the game, you'll be able to play as different characters, and different characters have their own set of skill trees and weapon set. Our general goal is to survive and proceed to the next story phase, while watching how the story unfolds. The game graphics and animations are way much better than Part 1. Even on a standard PS4 with HDR enabled on your TV, the game is absolutely stunning. All the grasses, trees, human interaction, and of course the infecteds are very real. Heck, even my mom says that Part 2 looks really realistic. And by adding the sound effects and music, it makes the game very immersive. This also makes the game very scary when exploring darker areas in the game. Expression on everyone looks very real, even during non-combat, walking around town, talking to your companion, or even when you strangle enemy soldiers to death. Exploration in Part 2 offers more flexibility. At certain points of the game, you'll have the choice to decide where to go first. Some of the places are not compulsory, but you may find collectibles or stories of people who used to live there. Like The Last of Us, Part 2 offers similar craftable items. Both Ellie and Abby can craft different things, and if you manage to unlock certain skill trees, you may also be able to craft ammunitions. Weapons then can swap ammos by just pressing a button. Part 2 offers more variety of weapons and ways to down your enemy. With prone and tall grasses, there are so many more ways to sneak past enemies or even ambush them. Shooting when you are crawling is also pretty challenging thanks to the grass blocking your view. The AI for both infected and humans have tremendous upgrades. For example, after you down John, Patrick or Grace, it'll be easier for you to run away from the humans and re-establish your stealth games. Generally, humans will cautiously advance forward while pursuing you, while the infected on the other hand will swarm you without the care of their own well-being. So re-establish your stealth games on human soldiers is much easier, while doing it with the infected is hard. Part 2 offers a lot of new infected enemies, like the Shamblers, and even the new Stage 6 infected. The AI for stalkers also has some tweaks. They behave much differently compared to a normal infected. If they are unable to kill you in a period of time, they will run away and try to ambush again. Enemy soldiers might have dogs or even heavy melee variants. Dogs can pick up your sand trail, while heavy melee soldiers have higher health, and can be only damaged by melee attacks when you succeeded in dodging their attacks. Most enemies in the game have chances to block your melee attacks and push you away. Part 2 features many weapons and even more ways to kill your enemies. From Molotov to pipe bombs, to setting up traps, to hunting rifle, and even the classic bricks and bottles will do the trick too. Despite so many different variations of combat, most players will end up with pure stealth gameplay and strangle the enemy from behind. Well, it is the safest play, uses the least amount of supply to take down an enemy. Nope, you can't do that here. The game is so much longer than you would expect. Multiple times throughout the game, I thought that, yes, I finished the game! Nope, and here we go again. In multiple points of the story, there will be a long flashback. and it fills in more story of what happened between The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. Doesn't matter if it's combat or sneaking, the situation or music will make your heart race. Many times when you think that you can finally take a breath and let your guard down for a second, another crisis will rise up. And one more thing I like about the game is that the way they narrate the story in a way that you hate Abby at first, and after a certain point is reached, you end up liking Abby. The story itself is not for the faint-hearted. You can only find 2 to 3 times in a decade for a video game like The Last of Us Part 2. I don't want to spoil too much about the game, so that's it for today. If you like our video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, this is Sean from Gamerbraves, and see you guys next time.